Tzimmer Reish Aleph, Mikvaos, Simin, Sif, Lamed Ches. Ameniach, Sak, Okupa, Tachas Atzinor. Right, someone who puts, we talked about this before, if you put a kli under, like a rain gutter or something like that, that it could parcel it. But if you put cloth, a cloth bag, or a box, some sort of that has holes in it or something like that. Tachas atzinor einamayim nimshachi mehen place of a mikvah, because this does not have a din kli, because it can't be makabel water, because water will flow right through the right through the bag or right through whatever. Like we mentioned before, a person's toivel kelim, you toivel it in a sock. So too, if the water goes through a sock or a kupa to the mikvah, it's not gonna passel the mikvah. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, this won't hold water for a second. It's not just it leaks out; it just doesn't hold water at all. Like it's just like a cloth bag. It just pours. It's going to pour right through. So too, this also would be the water. Can't hold water at all. It's not doesn't within Sheuvim. Lamed tes. A dry bag also holds water for a few seconds. It's not made to hold water. No one's going to put water in it. It's not nechshav a kli for Sheuvim. So that shavarnu shekol she'enu osli lekabel samayim eno lamates. That shavarnu shekol she'enu osli lekabel samayim eno pleisel samikva. That which you just said, anything which is not made to makabel mayim doesn't pass to the mikvah. Lo omer elaka shenafel b'teichel the mikvah. That's be'atzman. That's what we're talking about. That there was you would put like a some sort of bag over let's say the rain gutter to in case it's like to filter it out for leaves, things like that, and it goes through by itself. But if a guy would say fill up a cloth bag and run to the mikvah to dump it in before all like runs through, or just holds it over the mikvah, something like that. Hareis apostle shekol al yedei adam afil zilif biyadav u'veraglav. Anything which is done through a person, whether he splashes it with his hands or his legs, even if he was sloshing through a puddle and the water, and he kicked the water out without kavana, even v'ragav the mikvah pasluhu. If it's not shalem, it's going to passel the mikvah. That's where it splashed with his feet or his legs. But if he was riding an animal, and the water splashed from the legs of the animal, lo paslu. That doesn't pass. Even though he was goring for the animal's legs to kick the water, that's not called mahava ayadei adam. It's only if he does it via daim. The Quran is bar. The yesh cholkein v'ayin la'el siftas vav. Mentioned talked about this in the Ramah talked about it in siftas vav. There are cholkein mekilim. There are cholkein on the ragli behema. Right. Right. It says Reish Oimri, and they'll go over the Ramah for a second. Even every shlosh lugim biyada v'gabi karka or in thousand ragli behema kosher v'yesh Oimrim, the ragli behema kedim regel adam eshnei and a kosher. Right. They're both. Neither of them are kosher. So the question, let's say someone would be, drove a car fast through a puddle and splashed into a mikvah. Would that work? That would be the same type of machlokes. That since it's whether it has to be actually physically on the adam or if it was done in through something else, even though he was goring it, so that could be is the machlokes also. Okay. See, and there's a discussion in the place scheme also about in the Achronim about Hasaras Hamonea, that if he turns the faucet on, is that considered al yedei adam or not? That's a general shiloh throughout, thinking about throughout the koach adam, something with hasaras hamonea, is that called koach adam or not? That's a discussion in many places. So it's a machlokes over here. Also, it seems like the Chazanish and the Chazon Sofer, a few, a bunch of achronim are meko, and I think generally we go lahakel. That's why someone can turn the faucet on in the to the bortzria. There are different things. It could be tal the adam. It's in the zarua, whatever it is. But I don't think we're machmer for it. But when they go by the time, you use it that way. Right. Yeah, you're right. That's the thing. I guess that's probably where the machlokas comes in about whether it's. See, this is not exactly koach adam. The din over here is also ayadei adam. You're creating a mikvah through a person. So it could be it's called koach adam. But maybe it's not called havayaso. It has to be he's holding it in his hand, not just turning the faucet. That's probably where you have to look into it a bit more, but that's probably where the things, the sort of falls. Okay, Sif Mem. Kli shenikev b'shulav. If you have a bucket that has a hole in the bottom, a filo koshehu, eno choshev kli leaf mikvah. That's not called a kli sheuvim because the water drips out. I mean, kosher, I can't imagine if you pinpricked it, and no water comes out. It has to be actually water is gonna drip out. Basically, the point is has to be made that people will use it to store, to carry water. But however, it's not. You shouldn't go ahead and use a kli menukav to go ahead and to make a mikvah. Nekev bitstadin. Now, if the nekev is on the side of the bucket, eno bottle mitoras kli. That's not going to mevatel it from a kli. Ad shehe beroich of a nekev keshfer sanod. Shukishtei its both. Because the issue is that since it's still if it's on the side, so there's still a little bit of water the bottom can catch. So that's called Sheuvim. So unless it's shver sanod, then we say that's going to mechaber it to it's tam chibur to a mikvah. You're saying that could be in the middle of the clay, above the bottom, and then right. And then the water below that is partial. I'm not sure about that. That I don't. That means that there are little holes on the bottom and a big hole on the top. No, there's no holes on the bottom. The point over here is that you're right. It gets if it's in the air and the water flows out. Maybe I don't listen. I'm not sure. It's katafras. It needs a chibur, and you want to throw some other fancy terms around, and good ochis and good asik, and I don't know about all the, but I'm not 100% sure. Maybe it's a lawsuit. Yeah. Anyway, no, you're right. It's a little bit unclear why, but this is the din. This is the din. True. How big is the shver sanod? Here, the Shulchan Aruch actually explains it. Shukishtei it's both. Rishonim, it's the two first. It's both. Mea arba shebepasa yad mishapchos b'chalal nekev berevach. You're able to turn it in the hole easily. Bein shu meruba, bein shu ogul. Doesn't have to be a circle. It could have angles. You hate karav l'shula, but it has to be close to the bottom of the bucket. That the bucket it has to be it can't hold any water. Ulamata. So this answers your question. Anything below, that's still going to be a problem. It has to be. It's literally at the bottom on the side. Right. Then it could be used as some sort of kli. And if you mix the lime, sid is lime, whatever. Usually they use sid, and even nowadays they use often they use lime making cement, concrete making cement. It's also an ingredient. So they use I forget the term. Anyway, they use it in with throws and throws or sasam behem, and that gives lo chashuv stima. That's not a very strong plug. Or let's say you take a one of those bath plunge, like the little rubber bath thing. You stick it on top. That's not, even though it closes it, but that's not called a stima lach zero tourist kli. Oh, so let's say you have a kun, you put a hole in the kli and you put one of the rubber bath things. So that would be that b'di'evid would be okay. Im im hushivu agabe haaretz. So let's say you stuck it onto the ground. Vafilu agabe, and therefore does hold water. Vafilu agabe sid v'gasis, even if it's on sid and gasis, which is a much thicker, stronger cement. Lo chashuv stima. About im iriv sid v'gasis, but if you mix the sid and gasis well, the sasmoi chashuv stima, and then it makes a good glue or a good composite to go ahead, and that's going to go ahead and seal it up properly. Right. It's a much thinner. Right, it can be run through. It's not. Right. Right. Hilkach haroitza lisha of Mayim mikvah l'narkosis. Someone who wants to. What's the big nafkamina here is more, as let's say someone's trying to clean the mikvah, so he wants to go ahead and use a bucket, but he's worried about what if he accidentally spilled. Now he's v'chaser from Arba'im Sa, and now he accidentally spills the water back in. Now you're going to pass the mikvah. So Hilkach haroitza lisha of Mayim mikvah l'narkosis. Someone wants to draw out the water to clean it. The Yoreh shemiyachzvu me'akli shemotzim b'm hamayim gimel lugim lemikvah achar shechosvar b'imsa. And he's worried that he's going to accidentally splash out gimel lugim into the mikvah and passel it. Yisiluhu yikov akli b'shulav kol shehu. You should make a small hole in the bottom of the kli. Ve'az lo yichshavu hamayim shebo sheuvim. Then any problem, and even if it splashes out, it's not going to be sheuvim. Ve'im heim mayim noiveim, and if it's and if it is, nowadays they usually just use a drain, and drains there are other issues, but a drain, not to get to this. Obviously, a drain's not sheuvim, and a drain, that's usually how they clean them. They just drain out the water. Ve'im Hey Mayim noivim, but if it's a mikvah of flowing from a mayan, ein tzarich lakach. You want to clean out you want to clean out the Ariz mikvah, which is a mayan in the corner, whatever. There are a lot of other mayanas around. Ein tzarich lakach. You don't need to go ahead and make a hole in the bucket. Ki mayan eino nifsal b'sheiva. The din is that the mayan's never nifsal b'sheiva. Haga. The minig was the Rishonim said the minig is to be machmer even mayan, to say that sheuvim yesh chokim if you mayan oimim the shiva poselas. There are poskim, there are Rishonim who say that shiva is poselas. Therefore l'chachila one should be machmer. Linkova kli shishuvimbo, to go ahead and make a hole in the kli that right to be that you show with the Bach says that it should be a large enough hole of koines mashke. Not a kosher. You should be machmir that it's a kli of koines mashke, which is going to mevatel it even for tumat tahara. V'im lo also kain. The shalva b'kli shalem. Let's say you didn't do it, and you drew out the water with the kli shalem, and after sham gimel lugim sheuvim into the mayan. V'nifsala. Let's say you drew the water. 1 second. Right. But let's say you did draw the whole bucket, and then Gimel fell into the mikvah. The nifsala hamikvah. Now the mikvah's pasal v'roitze narkoisa lachshira. Let's say now you have to clean it out, and you wanna be machshir it. Im efshar lifkoik nikvei hanavia, or this is from by Mayan. Okay, this is by Mayan. If you close up the spring, bekalos, if you can do that, tov lahachmir v'lasas came. It's still better to do it that way, so that you can be able to clean it out properly, and to get it, you have to get it down to below gimalug. You'll see later on, you have to get the mikveh down to below gimalugim of mayim, and then you can refill it. Right? Im yesh torach gadol b'davar. You can't really shut the mayan up. Oh, b'di'evich lo also can didn't do it. Yesh yisbach hamekilim and something that ain't shiva poselas b'mayan. And then therefore you don't have to be choishesh that it's going to passel the mayan. Now, of course, with the spring, it means water that's made a pool of water. It doesn't mean it's going to passel the whole mayan forever because it's new water that comes out. Kichein ikar, afilu mikvah, and this is because this is the ikar halacha. Afilu mikvah she'ein ba mayan, even a mikvah that doesn't have a mayan attached. Imeina kli gadol kol kach shebavada yiflu sham gimalugim. If it's not such a big bucket, use a cup. It might take a long time, but let's say you use a cup. There's definitely not gimalugim in that Sheuvim. Alo yishish lochu shemenaflu b'zeh chazeh. But the chash is, let's say you have a bunch of people that are all using a cup, right? That's not how you malugim in it. So everyone's using cups to drain the mikvah, but you're worried that maybe the three guys will drop their cups 1, 2, 3 right after the other. That suffix where we go lakula the sveika the gimalugim sheuvim it's sveika the rabbanan in lachush b'di'eved. If a suffix by a mikvah, the mikvah itself is going to be with the chash deraisa. I mentioned this before, but gimalugim is a din derabanan. That mikvah is possible gimalugim because midaraisa it's only possible rov shuvim. Midarabanan gimalugim, and any suffix by gimalugim we are makel, like we mentioned before. Mem aleph v'niach kelim tachas atzinor. You put kelim underneath a rain pipe. The kabel name of shiblahem l'seicha mikvah. That your kavana was that they're going to go ahead and I guess pour through the kli. You're going to use it to pour into the mikvah. If you put it there, when it's the rain clouds are gathering. Before the clouds scattered, rain came and nismalu, and then they got filled. Sheuvim ladas. This is what's called ladas. And you filled it ladas because you know that the rain's going to come. I don't know if the meteorological survey or prediction will work in this case. I guess if you looked at the satellite, I'm not sure. It says Kishur Avim, you have to see clouds in the sky, right? In the small Chashul Nada, Havahu Sheuvim, then it's Sheuvim. But if there wasn't cloudy when you put them there, and then it got cloudy, and it rained, and it filled up, or Kishur Avim, and let's say you put it there when it looked like it was going to rain, then you spazru, and then the clouds went away. Then you sharu sham, and you left it there for a while. Ad shechozru niskashru, until it got cloudy again. The yardu kshamim, then you smalu, and then they got filled. Lo chashivi ladas. That's not called ladas. The einam poislim. Then it will not. That won't passel the mikvah. Uvad, however. How would you do it? Either you smash the kli open and the water flows out, or you kick it or something. That's the adam, whatever. You flip. How do you figure out a way to flip it over without the? You drag along the ground until you get to the neck and drop it in. That's okay. Yeah, and it would smash. That would be fun. Or you sure that if you don't, the kli doesn't lift off the ground. So let's say if a person would pick it up from the ground with the water, cheshuvim sheuvim. That's called sheuvim and placing in some mikvah. Right? If you just drag it along the ground and so I don't know if it's havayas or dayodon. That I'm not sure. Like if you don't pick it up, it doesn't go through your hands. It's not havayas or dayodon. If you just kick it with your feet, it's probably also okay. The point is sheuvim is that you pick it up to draw the water, but just to smash it won't. Question: if you didn't actually touch the water, I'm not 100% sure. It says over here. Looking at everything here. Okay, I'm not sure, but let's say you get I don't know. Akapanim men beis haminiach kankanim berosh hagag. You put pitchers on the roof of the naglam. You're trying to dry it out. Yardu alein geshamim, and whoops, you listen to the forecast, and the rain came and filled them. Smalu, and they filled up. Avabishi onis geshamim, even though it's the rainy season, and it's very olul, it's ruach mitzuya, it's very olul to rain. Hareza yishbor kankanim. You can go ahead and smash the kankanim or yichpam or knock them over. The Mayim kankanim ksherim litvol b'hem, and the water that was in these kankanim is kosher to be toivel in them. Avol b'shekol mayim ha'ilu hayu b'kelim, even though all the water were in kelim. Shreilu milam biyado. First of all, he didn't fill it. So one of the time is if you want, you have to be ladas, means you filled it ladas. However, if it was done shlokadas, but if he picked up the kankanim v'iram and poured it, again, like we had the last case, that the rest of it is like sheuvim.
Tipping it without it completely, you can't tip it without lifting it a little bit.
No, it's always touching.
As long as the bottom is still
touching the ground. Yeah.
Okay.
That would be okay. Yeah. Let's just do Mem Gimel as all one Indian. Hasayid Mem Gimel Hasayid sheshachach otzitz b'mikvah. Let's say the guy was plastering the mikvah and he forgot his big bowl, his big bucket or whatever it is in the mikvah in his Mayim, and it got filled with water, rainwater. Even though they drain the mikvah, mostly drain the mikvah, and there's only a little bit of water in the mikvah, they had otzitz yesh rova mikvah, and it was a very large otzitz, and it had most of the, it would have rova by himself. Hareza yishbor is otzitz. You can go ahead and smash the otzitz. And inside mikvah kulo kosher, because the point of the otzitz wasn't to fill water for the mikvah. He wanted to go ahead and pour plaster in or whatever. Let's say someone in a big pit within a pit was putting pitchers there because he wanted to go ahead and to seal it from water. He wanted to go ahead and put it, he wanted them to absorb water or to seal it up. Then it's malu mayim, and they got filled with water. Even if there's no water in the mikvah, nishar shamayim klal. The only water is in the kankanim. Hooray, the yishbor is the kankanim. You can smash the kankanim. The Mayim nikavi mehem mikvah kosher, and the water is a mikvah kosher, because again, his kavanah wasn't to fill it with water. It was to go ahead and absorb water to seal it up. Let's say there.